Hello and how yous doing? My name is Lucas Khuns and welcome back to Two Jagoffs. And in today's episode, we're bringing back Lucas Khuns. I did really good the first time. We were quite surprised. Not really, it's me and better management than the other guy. So as some of you may remember, we did this last month and pretty much I can do anything I like. I can bring on who I want. I can do any game show questions I want. Bring in some new game shows as we saw last time. And by the way, gotta mention this real quick. We did a very, very fantastic promo for this. Oh, gotta take this stupid mask off. It's getting in my way. But let's bring in a little special someone. Pittsburgh's favorite injured Jagoff, Austin Khuns. Austin, how you doing, my friend?
My back's a little sore, but I'm doing great, my friend. Thank you so much for having me back on my podcast.
Yeah, welcome back. A long time no see. It's been about a month since you've been on here, on Lucas Khuns.
It has been a month since I've been on Lucas Khuns.
Yep.
Same with yourself. You probably took some well-deserved time off.
I did take some well-deserved time off. Not really. You had me in the basement, but...
Okay, don't even start with that nonsense.
Finally, I got to put you in the basement last night and tell it right now.
It's a false narrative that you're spreading, but go ahead.
It's not false. Your father confirmed it.
But that doesn't matter.
Mr. Jack, you can go find that episode.
Okay.
So real quick, before we get started into like the stuff that I kind of care about, I know you've been begging me for like 3 weeks now to bring this up. March Madness.
Yes.
It's over.
It is over. By time.
How'd you do?
I did great. I had 3 out of the 4 final teams in both the men's and the women's bracket. I correctly predicted the winner for the men's bracket, and I correctly predicted the final 2 for the women's. Unfortunately, I got that one wrong. The women's team, UConn, ended up absolutely destroying South Carolina, which shout out to Paige Buchers, by the way. Absolutely incredible talent. Going to do great things in the WNBA. And Florida, we talked about Clayton Jr. all year long. Both me and my dad were going back and forth on how great he is. He's an amazing talent. He's going to do great things on the next level. And this Gators team, man, you go from being a second-round exit last year. First-round exit last year, to being national champions the next. It just shows how you can overcome anything at any sports on any level. Florida did just that, and I'm very happy with the way March Madness went this year. I know there's a lot of people complaining that there's no Cinderella teams or barely any upsets, but guess what? That's what you want in playoff basketball or playoff baseball, playoff football, or playoff any sport. You want the best teams left last. You don't want, every once in a while, a nice little Cinderella team is nice, but do we need to go back to the college football national championship from a few years ago where Georgia blew TCU off the water, putting 60 points up on them? Yeah, no, we don't want to see games like that. Or what about the UConn-South Carolina game we just saw from the women? We don't want to see games like that. We want to see competitive basketball, competitive sporting events, and that's what we saw between Florida and Houston in the championship game. Houston put up a good fight. Gators on top.
Now I have a question for you. Recently, I was actually me and my good friend Nick Brown. New management actually took over the Austin Khuns show. You took some time off. You were 15 minutes late. No, figures. I think we did pretty good though. Yeah.
I would say you guys had relatively decent chemistry to start off.
Considering it was our first time ever being in person with each other.
Yeah, let me add some more context if you don't mind for that. So, the Austin Khuns Show is the radio show I host on WPPJ every Thursday from 6 to 7. There's actually going to be a new show tonight, so make sure you guys all tune in. It's going to be a very, very special episode. And last week, I decided for a little April Fool's special, since April Fool's was 2 days prior, I would let the co-host of Two Jagoffs, Lucas Khuns, and the co-host of my other podcast, Steel City Commuters, Nicholas Brown, both co-host my radio show. So I thought it was like a cool crossover with all these different platforms, all these different podcasts, all these different worlds. And you guys were dynamic. You guys had good chemistry. I didn't say a word. I kept my mouth shut. I sat there and just did the technical side of things while you guys worked your magic. And I think it's safe to say, you obviously have the invite to Steel City Commuters. I think we can both agree Nicholas Brown has the invite to Two Jagoffs anytime he wants to come on. Maybe he can come on like a special guest like we have with Kevin and Mr. Jack Dean. I think he would add a lot.
Yeah, I think it will add a lot. So we'll see how that turns out. But no, I think the minute I knew we were gonna have decent chemistry is real quick. We kind of had to figure out who was gonna talk, and we were be able to point, and he picked up real quick what I meant. I picked up what he meant, and I was like, yeah, no, this is gonna be fine. Because I didn't talk to him before, and I didn't be like, hey, watch out for me to look at you or give you a signal or something. He got the signals right away, so shout out to him for that one. Some people can't seem to figure out what it means if I point to you and mouth talk.
Yeah, mouth talk. No, Nick is good with that because, he wants to be a broadcast. He wants to get into broadcasting as well, not so much sports as myself. But, I mean, he's going to Point Park, which is, again, a very hands-on school. He's only a freshman, only a year older than you, which is pretty cool. Which is pretty crazy that you and him are closer than age than me and you are. So, definitely a bit of a different level there. And I feel like you guys were able to connect as well because you do share a lot of similar views, especially when it came to some of the teams you guys were talking about. I mean, the first half of the episode, we were literally just talking Pittsburgh sports. And by we, I mean you and Nick. Mm-hmm. Pirates, Penguins, Steelers. I'm assuming we'll probably have some of that later on. If not, I will just say that all three teams are a disgrace right now. But Pitt sports was a major topic for you guys of conversation in that show, and I know it's going to be one for many weeks to come.
Yeah, I think just kind of getting his views on our sports, obviously, was just kind of something I want to get out of the way on, like, the first time meeting, so I knew what to talk about, especially once we came back from break. Obviously, you knew him, so you were able to add, too, but I didn't really know much. Like, I knew he was a Pittsburgh sport fan, but I didn't really know, like, how deep into it he was or how much he, like, paid attention to the three teams. So getting that out of the way was kind of good for the first 15 minutes, and I think we had good conversations. We talked about Point Park and everything.
Of course.
Speaking of Point Park, yesterday, I actually made a surprise appearance on one of your classes.
You did. You made a very surprise appearance. You were a special guest, actually.
I was a special guest. Angela called me a very special guest in front of the entire class, which all gave me dirty looks when they walked in because they had no clue who I was and why you were sitting in the front of the room with some random guy. But, no, I got an applause once they knew who I was because I'm cool like that. Kevin probably wouldn't get no applauses, though, so that's all right, though.
Well, I will say this, again, for some more context. I think we actually talked about it briefly on the podcast last week, if I'm not mistaken, when my dad was here. You got the invite from Angelo Gargaro, who is my sports podcasting professor at Point Park University. He has a couple of podcasts himself. He may or may not actually be a guest on our podcast down the line. We'll just have to wait and see. But Angelo personally invited you to the show because you were on the phone with me the one day and right before class, and I gave it to him because you wanted to say what's up. And he was like, oh my gosh, let me talk to the other Jagoff, of course, why not? And you guys were BSing for a little bit, and he was like, yeah, if you want to, Lucas, since you're getting in the like this kind of stuff, and you may or may not come to Point Park, why not you come down for the day if you can get out of school earlier, if you can get a ride down here, that would be great. And your mom made it possible today, so I think we should shout out your mom here in all honesty, because she's the one that made this all possible.
She picked me up 30 minutes early from school and drove me down to Point Park.
Yep, Angelo got the ball rolling, but your mom did all the hard work. So shout out to Carrie. Thank you so much for getting Lucas down to Point Park today. It was a great experience. We had a lot of fun. And not only did you attend Angelo's class, you got to participate and do the stuff we were doing, which you're already ahead of the game with most of it, with Adobe Premiere. And
yeah, it was weird for me because I feel like everyone thinks of college is like really advanced stuff, kind of like what gets you out into the field, but I guess depending on where you grow up, like the stuff that is going on in that class right now, I'm not saying all classes, because obviously a lot of college classes are harder, but
oh yeah,
depending on the classes you take, like some like the more basic intros to things, that's stuff I learned in my basic video class, my video one, over a year and a half ago. The stuff he was teaching me today was some of the first things I learned in my video one class. Now I'm in Honors 3 video, so it was kind of cool seeing that, like, if I do go down that route, and I don't know if I'd have that exact class with him, but like,
you will.
I will.
Yep.
So those classes in general, including his, then I've already been doing that stuff for, it'll be 2 years by the time I get to him.
So you should have 100 like I do right now.
I would hope so, unless I just don't do my homework or something. Sorry, Angela. But no, it was cool. It was cool, and then we got to do work on a little on the street interview project. Filmed a couple people, and
we did. Shout out to Bree, Connor, Jordan, and whoever the hell the other guy was that we interviewed. I have no clue who he was. We just went up to him and we said, "Hey man, could you be in this recording?"
He was cool though. I liked him.
He was cool. I never met the guy. Never seen the guy before, but he was chill. He was a Patriots. He was an all Boston fan. All Boston.
Wearing a Steelers shirt.
Yeah, wearing a Steelers shirt, which is why I was like, "Oh, you're a Steelers fan." He's like, "Actually, I'm a Patriots fan." I'm like, "Well, why the hell are you wearing a Steelers shirt?" But
that's awesome, because like the Steelers and Patriots don't like each other.
I mean, in all fairness, I kind of got bashed last week for the promo we did on Tuesday. Actually, it was this week. It was on Tuesday, the one we did with Nick Brown.
Oh God!
I was wearing all WVU gear. Let's just say the pit.
You were getting bashed in person.
Let's just say the pit crew was pretty upset about that on Facebook. I got a.
When is the pit crew not mad at you?
The pit crew's always mad at me. They're always blaming me for something. They said I'm excommunicated from the group and my tickets have been revoked. That is the message that I got after that promo went out. Thanks.
Do we need to go hit them with a steel chair and put them through a cardboard box table?
Thanks for the PTSD. It's instantly kicking in now.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Hey, and if you want to go look at a separate video, we have a little blooper reel.
We should, yeah, maybe on YouTube. Should we talk about that real quick? Actually, a little more in depth. That promo.
So, Austin over here. No hate to you, but I thought you could just take over the promo for my episode, which I kind of didn't agree with, and I took things in my own hands. Hit you with the chair. Hit you with the chair again.
And then you choke slam me through the conveniently placed.
Well,
boxes.
then I actually kicked you in the stomach or side, I guess.
I hit me with the chair twice.
Yeah, well, I hit you with the chair, and then I hit you with the chair again, and then I kicked you in the side.
Yeah.
And then I absolutely yanked you up and off the ground.
Yes, you did.
And then I sent you crashing through a table.
It wasn't a table.
It was our table. It was the two Jagoffs table.
It was our makeshift table.
That's what our $3.87 budget can get us.
It was our low income table.
And once again, monetized, we can upgrade tables. All right, everybody. But we're not WWE out here. We work with what we have, and we probably write better scripts too. But that's besides the point. Anyways,
I sold that like a champ. There, you gotta give me. My legs were kicking in the air as I was going up. You could tell I've been a wrestling fan my whole life just from that promo.
And then we watched it while you were still on the ground, and then you got back up, and you thought I was gonna hit you with the chair again, so you threw the chair. But that's not what I really cared about. So I put you through the table again. But that'll be seen in the blooper reel, so you have to go watch it for that.
Yep.
You got your leg stuck in a box. Your shoe stuck in a box. That'll also be in the blooper reel. And then cameraman Kev decided he wanted to go through the table. And he got put through the table.
He did. He took it like a champ.
Well, he made a joke about going through the table, and I'm like, Kevin, close your eyes, and then
I thought you were gonna hit me again. That's why you came up to me. I was like, no, don't hit me again. And you're like,
yeah, and then you threw the chair away again. I don't care about the chair. When are you gonna learn? I don't want the chair again.
Okay, well, you cracked me in the back with it twice. I still have the welts.
It's besides the point.
I'm gonna be going to school in like a sling. I'm gonna look like that one character from SpongeBob that he's trying to sell the chocolate to, like all the bandages wrapped.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
That's gonna be me.
What? What did he say?
But yeah, no, that promo was really fun. I've been wanting to do something like that for a while, just because obviously tap into like my wrestling fan persona. I feel like I cut a promo the one week on a bridge in at a what was it, Cecil Park? Yeah, Cecil Park. I cut a promo in, and then this one.
Shout out to me on that one. I'm the one that said Cecil.
You did. You hooked us up. But for some more background context on this promo, I went to Walmart as soon as I got off of work today before I went to school, like 8 a.m. I stopped at Walmart to buy a chair, and everyone's looking at me so weird when I'm in my friendly paw outfit, walking through a Walmart with a steel chair, and the woman at the front, whenever you have to show them your receipt, she just looks at the receipt, she looks at me, she looks at the receipt again, I'm like, no, I'm not stealing the chair, I'm actually buying, and I'm going to be
you had one thing on the receipt, what is there to look at? Chair? Look at hand chair. It didn't fit in a little shopping bag.
I know, like, it made no sense, but I drove home, I got McDonald's, then I drove home, and let's just say we went to school, you met up with me, we did the Angelo thing, we did the interviews, came back here, picked up our man Kev, came back to the studio, and banger of a promo. Absolute banger.
Might be one of the best promos we've made.
But I will say, I will tell a background story that only people will know if they listen to this episode, because I'm not telling it again. That I was actually supposed to go through a table this week. I did buy one. It's like $60 off Facebook Marketplace, and it's one of the really nice 8-foot long wooden tables. And I feel like I could go through it, but let's just say my production team told me not to go through it because I may or may not puncture an artery or a lung because of the metal pieces that stick through it. So we made makeshift boxes, and in all honesty, I think the boxes was a nice start.
I actually kind of think I like how this was going to work out better. The risk of injury was a lot less, and it actually kind of made a good crashing sound. It
did. It made an explosion.
Especially the blooper reel has the better crash sound, because more of the boxes were already crushed down the first time.
I know, that's the one thing that kind of sucks, but...
Yeah.
I still sold it in both of them, so I'm happy.
You sold, but I think it sounded better in the second one though, because like everything.
I actually hit the ground on the second one. That's why I hit the ground on the second one. The first one I didn't hit the ground once.
I kind of butchered the end. I said episodes.
I wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna let you say it.
I said episodes instead of. I was supposed to say out now on all platforms. I said out now on all episodes.
Out now on all episodes. How does that make you feel?
You know what? That's the funny part of it. I mean, it's a funny promo if you kind of get the whole gist of it.
Hey, you live and you learn.
You live and you learn.
You live and you learn.
So next time I'd hit you in the back with the chair twice and then kick you and then choke somebody through a hopefully real table. I'll get it right.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully. Well, I mean, I have to get my payback eventually. I mean, Kevin you put my cameraman through a box. You put me through a bunch of boxes. You hit me with a chair multiple times. Not to mention the multiple chair shots before we even started the video. Just saying, you hit me a lot today. I gotta get my payback. I gotta get my due diligence back on you.
IWC, sign us.
IWC. Plumber! Are you listening?
Plum nuts!
No, don't call him plum nuts. That's plumber. Are you trying to get me fired?
But you want to be the one giving me a bum, so I gotta be the one that doesn't like plumber, so plumber makes you go over me.
You're the one that attacked me from behind when I was cutting a promo today.
Yeah, Plummer likes that kind of style, actually.
Oh my god.
You know he does.
Yes, I guess.
That's exactly what he supports, actually.
It is.
I.e., what happened to, like, Palace whenever the guy said he had, a broken foot, then ran to the ring.
That's Canon Christopher, yeah.
I can't stand Canon Christopher.
I don't know if you saw this or not. They just announced a match with him. Not him and Zach Nystrom
Yeah, I saw
at the
that.
ballpark. Falls count anywhere. They can go anywhere in the ballpark.
That's going to be crazy.
I saw a falls count anywhere match before at the ballpark. It was crazy. It went all over the place. Like, I'm talking like up in the stands, out in the back by the concessions.
I would push Christopher down the
The
stands.
parking lot. They were brawling in the parking lot. Yeah.
Fans don't get to watch anymore. You gotta watch the Jumbotron. You ready to move into some of this episode?
I think so. We're 15 minutes in. Let's do it.
15 minutes in, we haven't even gotten to my first point yet.
All right, hit me with it. It's Lucas Carries, isn't it?
It is Lucas Carries. So, I don't want to talk about the Pirates in general. We talked about them way too much recently.
Yeah.
I just want one opinion on something.
Hit me with it.
What happened to Paul Skeens? I think 2 days ago. Back on Tuesday.
I'll tell you what happened to Paul Skeens. It's because he didn't play a single game in the Yankee series. This was something I was highly critical of on a couple other shows and platforms, and I'll say it right now. The fact that Paul Skeens did not pitch a single game or a single inning in any of the 3 games against the New York Yankees. Yes, I get it. We won the last one, but 5-4. But at the end of the day, Paul Skeens is a generational talent. Paul Skeens is a generational pitcher. When you're going up against the runner-up in the World Series last year on opening week at PNC Park, the most beautiful stadium in all of baseball.
Actually ranked number 1 now.
Actually ranked number 1, which it well deserves, in all of sports, in my eyes. And you're telling me that you don't have Paul Skeens in there for any of that? That right there can be blamed on Derek Shelton, Bob Nunn, whoever you want to blame, you can blame for it. But mismanagement of the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Pittsburgh bullpen is what led them to lose most of those games against the Yankees, and it's what led them to have Paul Skeens not play his best baseball right now. It's not fully his fault. He didn't get the reps in, and he didn't play the proper competition.
Yeah, I mean, watching him give up 4 runs was awful.
I guess the Cardinals are his kryptonite.
I mean, yeah, I say that one thing. I forget the other team, but it was he's only lost, like, his fault lost. Cardinals, some team, Cardinals.
Yeah.
What is that stat line, bro? Why are the Cardinals his kryptonite?
I guess the Cardinals are the kryptonite. I don't know. St. Louis doing something that Paul Skeens can't grasp, I guess. Maybe he shouldn't have been doing a GQ photo shoot with Livy Dunn this past week, and maybe he would have actually been in the bullpen.
Do you blame him?
Huh?
Do you blame him?
I mean, I don't blame him, but come on now. I mean, are you kidding me? What kind of question is that? Is the grass green, Lucas? Come on.
My next question for you, or I guess topic. The Penguins.
Oh, Lord.
We're officially eliminated.
Yeah.
Why is Jari one of the best goalies to have in net right now? 2 of his last 4 games have been shutouts. And ever since he's got sent back up here, he's barely lost, like, on his fault.
I hate to break this to you. It's not that Tristan Jarry is playing good. It's that the Penguins are so bad that it is creating the illusion that Tristan Jarry is the best player right now. Tristan Jarry is doing great things right now. He is playing much better than he did before he got sent down to the minors. I will give you credit there. He is playing like he deserves to be rostered for the Penguins. I will give you that. But to sit up here and say he is one of the best goalies, that he should be in the running for the awards, I'm going to fully disagree with that because the Pittsburgh Penguins defensive pairings are so bad. Shots on goals has significantly gone down. We're actually 10 to 15 shots on goal less over the last 2 months than we were in January. With that all being said, if you also look at the lack of competition that we're playing up against what we were playing in January, it's very minimal. So Tristan Jarry is playing good hockey right now. But in my eyes, he is just simply creating the illusion that he is the best goalie right now because of how bad the supporting cast is of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to put him, like, that high. Like, I'm not saying, like, award or anything.
Of course.
Like, for our sakes, out of our other goalies look terrible. I mean, we only really have Ned right now, but he's doing terrible.
I mean, we all knew that Alex Nedeljkovic or Nedlovich or however you say his last name.
Nedeljkovic, I think.
Nedeljkovic, that's right. Yeah. It's Alex Nedeljkovic. We all knew that he wasn't going to be here for a long term. Like, when we brought him back on that contract, I think it was either last year or the year before, I was like, why? Why are we bringing him back? I get it. He won us a couple of games. You look at the end of the year, he had a massive shutout as well. I think it was 3 shutouts in a row, if I'm not mistaken, in one season. And he was playing great hockey as well. But again, it was just the illusion of how bad Jari was. It made Ned look so good. So whenever you have a goalie room of Ned, Jari, and Bloomquist, I would hope Jari's the best out of all of them. I mean, we spent the most for him. If he's not playing the best, then that just shows that he doesn't deserve to be in the league.
Final thing for you. Steelers. TJ Watt.
Yes.
Does that story mean anything, or is he making fun of Tyreek Hill?
I don't think it's either. I think he's just trying to stir the pot up a little bit. I mean, TJ Watt has said time and time again in press conferences and post-game interviews that he loves the Steel City. He is fanatic about Pittsburgh. But guess what? If the price is right elsewhere, he will go to another team. You want proof of that? Look at his brother JJ. One of the most loyal NFL players you ever meet. Who, in my eyes, actually is better than TJ on the field. He was so loyal and so dedicated to the city of Houston, was an entrepreneur there, was very charitable, was overall just a good dude. And he left for the Cardinals. Not to win games, you're not going to win games in Arizona, to make money. And he did just that before he went out and retired to become a broadcaster. Could I see TJ Watt doing that eventually? Absolutely. But the difference between TJ and JJ left when he was well past his prime. TJ is in the midst of his prime right now. So if he were to leave right now, he would hope to go to a championship contender because you're not winning one anytime soon with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if you were to leave and you were to go elsewhere, that's actually going to hurt the Steelers more than it's going to hurt him. That's going to elevate him because JJ was playing for nothing. TJ's playing for everything. So depending on where he goes, that could all depend. The Steelers, they need to do everything to keep him. And if that story really does mean that he's unhappy with them right now, if I am every single Steelers PR member, social media manager, social media content creator, I am informing everyone in the Steelers front office and building today, hey, he looks unhappy. Go talk to him now. Talk to his agents. Talk to TJ Watt. Get him in a conference room. Give him a cookie and figure things out.
What kind of cookie?
Chocolate chip.
100%.
If you give me oatmeal, you may as well just trade me to the just trade me to the Browns at that point.
No, well, speaking of trading, if he was to go somewhere, where do you think he could land?
He could land in a lot of different destinations. I would highly doubt he would ever land up with an AFC North team. I mean, the Bengals would make so much sense just because of Hendrickson possibly on their way out the door. That would be a great replacement for him. But at the end of the day, there is no way I could ever realistically see the Pittsburgh Steelers trading a prime TJ Watt away. Unless they were getting a Joe Burrow, there would be no way that would ever happen. And we know the Bengals aren't giving him up. So I think we can eliminate those three teams right off the bat. A team that actually kind of stands out to me that has been lacking a star defensive player for a very long time and that's always relied on a heavy offense is actually the Green Bay Packers. I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about the Green Bay Packers getting a solid edge rusher, getting a solid defensive tackle, getting a solid defensive player in general. They have had great corners. They've had great safeties. They've had great secondary players. But when was the last time we could really point out? I mean, the Green Bay's had great players. I'm not trying to take anything away. But a premier athlete, a top 5 edge rusher, top 5 defensive player, I think the Green Bay Packers would be a massive, massive win for TJ Watt. I also saw a rumor that this could possibly be a Dak Prescott TJ Watt trade with the Dallas Cowboys. Steelers need a quarterback. Dak has a contract. Watt has a contract. There's a lot of different moving parts there. And if not there, the third team that I would give you, Lucas, which again, I highly doubt that this is going to happen, but I could possibly see it depending on picks, maybe the Denver Broncos. Those would be my 3 teams. But I think the Packers is probably a great spot for him to land if he were to go somewhere.
So I actually had the Packers as my 3rd team. I agree that they could definitely use a player like TJ Watt. The other teams I had Jacksonville actually as my first one. I thought he could have gone there.
Here, I'm going to tell you why I don't think they should go Jacksonville. They already have Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen, and both of those two on the edges have been elite. A lot of people blame Trayvon Walker and say he was the worst number 1 overall pick over the last couple of years. I would argue he's one of the best. The last 2 seasons, he's had double-digit sacks, and he has been one of the most underrated defensive players in the year. Not to mention Josh Allen is a disruptor. So I think that Jacksonville is already good at that position, but I get what you're saying. Like, they're in need of defensive players, but his specific position's already filled. But I get what you're saying.
And then my other team, I thought because he could kind of compete here for the playoffs, maybe a little bit more than Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay.
Again, I like Tampa Bay, but Kalijah Cansey's on his side, and I don't think Cansey's giving it up. Cansey's a big boy. He's a big, big boy. And he's younger than Watt, too. Has a higher ceiling. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm not saying he's a higher ceiling than Watt, like, long term. I'm just saying, like, in terms of, like, over the next 5 years.
I just thought Seattle could try, but they basically just wrecked house. So.
See, Seattle was a team I was considering too, but I don't see him going anywhere in the West.
I don't think they would spend that much on a team that pretty much needs to rebuild, though, and build around a quarterback.
That's why I said the Packers, because the Packers are relatively young on offense and defense, so bringing in a veteran in Watt, someone who's been there, done that, won awards, gets double-digit sacks almost every year, in the Defensive Player of the Year runnings. I mean, yeah, I would do it. Watt is on a bit of a slump, though, right now. I mean, let's not forget, Lucas. Playoff game against the Baltimore Ravens. 63 consecutive snaps, 2 missed tackles, 1 pressure, 0 sacks, 0 tackles. Hasn't made a tackle since Christmas. Lucas, the last time T.J. Watt has made a tackle was Christmas Day against Isaiah Pacheco. That was the last time.
Yeah, it was not a good Christmas day for me.
Not a good Christmas.
No.
It was for me. I had cinnamon rolls.
I mean, my Christmas dinner was great. Just not a great Christmas day to be a Steeler fan.
Well, I ate those cinnamon rolls with a smile on my face.
I'm sure you did.
Oh, I did. It was awesome. I had to go to work, too, but that kind of sucked. But.
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals had no hope by Christmas, so.
Funny. Hey, guess what? At least we have a quarterback. Yeah.
I'll take my quarterback, and we'll still get more wins than your quarterback.
All right. It really is Christmas with you guys. Got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer right behind the realm. Nice job.
No, and he'll lead us to a Christmas day.
Who's your backup again? Skylar Thompson? Get out of here.
Who's your backup?
Jacoby Brissett, actually, the best backup in the league. Thank you very much. Good.
Yeah, you're going to be getting rid of Kyler Murray.
Now that I think about it, we have a stacked quarterback room. Thank you so much for bringing that up. We remember last year we had Desmond Ridder and
Arizona Cardinals legend Desmond Ridder.
He's not an Arizona Cardinals legend.
Almost as legendary as Larry Fitzgerald.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's about as legendary as a breakfast sandwich from a 7-Eleven. Absolutely not. He's not legendary.
Hey, you had a breakfast sandwich from Sheetz yesterday.
Yeah, that's good. You ever have a breakfast sandwich from 7-Eleven at a rest stop? Absolutely not. Ugh, pathetic. Ugh. I had one in Breezewood. It was nasty.
You had one in where?
Breezewood.
Oh, okay.
On the way to New York.
Didn't ask.
Okay.
Let's start off with the blind rankings.
Oh, gosh. We're doing game shows now.
We are doing game shows now.
I mean, this is Lucas Carey's.
This is Lucas Carey's. Actually, I take that back because I need to do something first for that one.
See, this guy over here is so unorganized. Doesn't even know what game show he wants to do.
We'll start off with pretty much the one I kind of called out, so it's basically the same exact thing. STBC.
STBC. Okay, start, trade, bench, or cut.
First up for you, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. All right. Quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals.
I don't know if you're done already.
Oh, I'm good.
Josh Allen.
Okay. Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. I know who the fourth one's already going to be.
Who?
Lamar Jackson.
No.
Really?
Jared Goff.
Oh, this is easier then. If you would have gave me Lamar, that would have been tough.
I was going with all J first names.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I was going to say, that's a good list if you were going to give me Lamar.
I actually had Lamar Jackson, but I'm like, wait, I have 3 J's on here. Let's just make it a 4th one.
Okay. Well, as much as this pains me to say it, I think the easy cut is going to be Jared Goff here. I don't want to take anything away from him. I think he's an incredible quarterback. We got to keep in mind he did lead the Rams to a Super Bowl. He did lead the Lions to an NFC championship and the 2 playoff appearances in the couple of seasons that he's been with them. He's a part of one of the most explosive offenses in all of football. He was a part of the best team in the regular season last year, that being the Detroit Lions. But his team is heavily carried by multiple talents. I still believe he's a key asset, and they wouldn't have won as much as they did without him. But we got to take that all into consideration when talking about Jared Goff. So I am going to cut him in this scenario. But let's look at the other 3 now. What do all of these 3 quarterbacks have? Josh Allen has an MVP. Joe Burrow has a Super Bowl appearance. Jalen Hurts has a Super Bowl win and a Super Bowl MVP. But was it really because of Jalen Hurts? The way that I'm going to do this STBC, Lucas, is based on the quarterbacks going in the next year, if that's okay. So going in the next year, on who I want at the quarterback position, as much as I love Jalen Hurts, and as great as he is at that quarterback position, being the only one on this list to actually win a Super Bowl, then do it twice, more than anybody else on this list as well, I'm still going to trade him away. And the reason why is value. He has the Super Bowl win. He has the Super Bowl MVP win. I know a lot of people want to elevate him, but again, that team is so loaded. Saquon Barkley, Nick Sirianni, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jahan Dotson. That team's loaded, top to bottom. So I got to take that into consideration. Burrow and Allen has transcended their teams. I've seen both of these quarterbacks work with nothing and make magic out of it. I can't say the same about Hurts. Keep in mind, Hurts had a bit of a turnover issue for most of his NFL career that finally started to get cleaned up after his most recent injury, which kudos to him. Josh Allen has increasingly got better every single season he's played in the NFL. A lot of people called him a bust his rookie year. He now just won the MVP last year, went to the AFC Championship game again, and married Haley Steinfeld. That man is winning at life right now. And Joe Burrow, let's not forget Joe Burrow was a former Heisman Trophy winner. Let's not forget Joe Burrow was a former national champion, but injuries slow him down. With all that being said, I'm going to still start Josh Allen, and I'm going to bench Joe Burrow. If you were to ask me this before the season started, though, I actually would have started Joe Burrow and benched Josh Allen. But after what I saw from Allen this year, I'm going to start him and I'm going to bench Burrow. I believe Burrow is more clutch than Allen. I believe Burrow can take my team to a championship more than Josh Allen. But in terms of just who I believe is the better player, I think it's Allen. But if I'm the head coach and I'm the general manager, I want Joe Burrow over Josh Allen. I just want to make that point clear because I've said in the past that I believe Burrow is better than Allen. I do believe he is. But in terms of skill, I got to go Allen here. So my final list, start Josh Allen, bench Joe Burrow, trade away Jalen Hurts, and I'm sorry, Jared Goff, but you're getting cut.
Yeah, so I'm cutting Jared Goff as well, and I'm also trading Jalen Hurts. I'm actually going to start Joe Burrow.
That's fair. I
and
can't argue
bench
that.
Josh Allen. I just looking at the reason I went off of this is because I was looking at who's made it farther, who can beat people in their division better. Josh Allen can't get over the hump. Joe Burrow's gotten over the hump. He's gotten into the Super Bowl in a close game.
Well, in all fairness, if you're going to use that logic, Josh Allen has blown every AFC East team out of the water. Joe Burrow has struggled against the Ravens, has struggled against the Steelers, and has honestly struggled against the Browns. We haven't seen Allen really struggle. So if you're going to say, I think you're saying conference. Like he struggled against the Chiefs is what you're alluding to, right?
Yeah, like deep playoff run time.
A deep playoff run, but within their conference, I mean, the Bengals didn't even make the playoffs last year. That's just my point.
That's fair too, I guess. Depends how you look at it. But either way, both of them are fair choices. You ready for your next STBC?
I am ready for my next STBC. Let's get into it.
These next two are meant to make you think for the next 2 hours.
What? Well, better now. We're already half hour in.
Honest Wagner.
Honest Wagner. Wait, what are we doing?
Baseball.
What game show, though?
STBC. I said, are you ready for your next STBC?
Oh, my bad. I'm totally off topic here. Honest Wagner.
Yep.
Oh, the legend. From Carnegie. Carnegie represent.
Roberto Clemente.
Another legend. We're getting all Pirates here.
Pete Rose.
Never mind. Okay.
And I hope you know this guy. Greg Maddux.
I do know Craig Maddox.
Good. I know the name, so.
This is tough.
Harder?
Very tough. I want to start Clemente so bad, but I don't want to let the Pirates bias get in the way. But he is the main reason why the Pirates won championships. Pete Rose is such an incredible hitter, though, as well. So I don't know. All right, I'm probably going to get killed when I return to Carnegie, but I'm going to cut Honest Wagner.
Wow.
I can't believe I'm doing that, but the other three, I believe, were more impactful within their time. And Honest Wagner, when he played baseball, it was a little less competitive than these three. It was all around the same era, but my goodness, these three are just incredible. I'm going to trade Maddox. I respect it, but I can't put him on the same level as Rose and Clemente. I so badly want to start Pete Rose. I really do. Screw it. I'm going to be a Yinzer today, Lucas. Give me a pass. My dad can call me a Yinzer all I want. I'm starting Roberto Clemente, and I'm benching Pete Rose. I had the chance to recently have a lunch with Steve Blass, another legendary Pirates Hall of Famer, who actually played with Clemente on this winning team. And he told me if it wasn't for Roberto Clemente, the Pittsburgh Pirates would never have seen a championship. So I got to give credit where credit is due. I'm starting Clemente, I'm benching Rose, I'm cutting Wagner, and I'm trading Maddox, not Maggin. My goodness.
Stat-wise, Roberto Clemente actually looks a little bit better than Honest Wagner, to be honest with you.
Who, Roberto?
Yeah, stat-wise.
Who, Wagner looks better?
No, Clemente looks better. Actually, looking at stats.
Than Wagner?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously, it's Clemente. Okay? It's Roberto Clemente.
You just said that you might be letting bias get to you. I think it's actually a good move.
No. I know Clemente has better stats than Wagner. I'm saying that bias is going to get in the way when I'm putting Clemente above Rose.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I already knew Clemente is better than Wagner. I'm saying between Clemente and Rose, I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm also cutting Wagner, actually.
Well, then why'd you say really?
I was surprised. I didn't think
You
you
thought
were.
the Carnegie bias was going to get in the way, huh?
I just genuinely thought you were gonna.
You ever been to the Honest Wagner Museum?
I'm sure I have.
It's really nice. I recommend it. They do a ghost tour on the 4th floor. It's nice.
I'm gonna trade Maddox. I'm actually gonna start Pete Rose and bench Clemente.
Again, that's fair. It's 50-50.
I just think Pete Rose is kind of like the more legendary player. I mean, I know Clemente's more well known for like what he did and stuff, but I think that Pete Rose was just slightly the better player.
Of course.
Well, I have one more STBC for you, and it also happens to be a baseball STBC.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of baseball today. I love it.
Willie Mays.
Oh, Willie Mays. I have a couple of his trading cards.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of baseball cards.
Mickey Mantle.
Mickey. Love me some Mickey Mantle. Legend.
Lou Gehrig.
So you give me all... Are these all Yankees? I think so. Most of them are.
And Barry Bonds. I didn't look at teams, to be honest. I have no clue.
Alright, I'm going to get called Mad Dog Austin here for a second because here comes the history professor out of me.
Oh, here we go. Professor Carhinge.
Lou Gehrig and what he did for that 20s Yankees team when he was with Babe Ruth and all of those legendary players. Oh my goodness. That is what transcended the Yankees from being an average baseball team to, in my opinion, the best sports franchise across all 4 major sports. He's getting started. And that's not even including all the contributions that he's done outside of the sport of baseball. When we look at the other 3, when we talk about Barry Bonds, we've got to take into consideration the suspensions. We've got to take into consideration the off-the-field stuff. But I still believe he is still a talented player, which is why he is going to go to my bench here. When we look at Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle, I mean, they're both Hall of Famers. They're both first ballot Hall of Famers at that. But I've always liked Willie Mays slightly more. So I'm going to trade him away for value's sake, and I'm unfortunately cutting Mickey Mantle.
I thought it was going to be harder for you. Kind of just flew through these.
The other one was harder because of Clemente, but these 4 I'm not as really biased towards. Willie Mays I'm a big fan of, so I may have got a little more biased there too, but I used to talk, I hear my dad and grandpa talk about him all the time.
I really want to start Barry Bonds, but I feel like you can't over Lou Gehrig.
No, you can't.
So I'm starting Lou Gehrig, and I'm benching Barry Bonds. Whenever it comes down to Mantle and Mays, it's basically just...
It's tomato.
Yeah, I traded Mantle, and I cut Mays, which is a crazy statement to make.
That is very crazy that you would ever cut Willie Mays.
But, I mean, compared to these other 3, it gets a little less crazy, I guess. Imagine if you were, like, a manager and you had to figure out, like, which of these players to keep, bench, trade, and cut. Like, how do you even cut these players knowing what they did for the sport and how good they were?
We just cut Jagoffs.
Can you put a picture of Matt Hardy on the screen real quick?
Oh my gosh. It's been 3 weeks.
I know, it's been too long.
Well, there he is. There's Matt Hardy up on the screen.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you're happy.
I am very happy, actually.
Yep.
Alright, now that you made fun of me for like 45 minutes, you ready to get back to the blind rankings now that I'm ready?
We have to go... Wait, we did 3 STVCs and now we're doing a blind rankings.
Now we're doing the blind rankings.
Now we're doing a blind rankings.
Now we're doing a blind rankings.
After you hit me with a chair twice, kicked me in the gut, and put me through a bunch of boxes, and recorded an amazing blooper reel, and 3 STVCs, we are now going to go to blind rankings. Matt Hardy is still on the screen.
Matt Hardy is still on the screen.
That is crazy.
He's still on the screen right now.
Okay, we gotta go.
He's actually looking at the viewers right now.
He is.
If they have the viewer... Oh, if they don't have the viewer option on, though, like, the picture mode on, they have no clue what we're talking about.
They don't. Huh.
So, like, they're just sitting here with audio, like, what are you talking about on the screen? Like, he's not on my screen.
Can I let you in on a little secret? Matt Hardy's still on the screen.
Do you think that anyone's ever, like, been so confused that they actually just Googled a picture of Matt Hardy?
No, they probably turned off the episode.
So, to the 2 viewers we still have, probably being me and Mr. Jack Dean. You ready for some blind rankings?
I'm ready for some blind rankings. Let's do it.
Colors, baby.
We are not doing colors again, Lucas. No.
Incarnadine. What is that? It's like a reddish pink.
What is that?
Incarnadine. Incarnadine.
It's just red.
No, it's like reddish pink.
That's red.
No, it's actually Incarnadine number 248.
No.
It says 850 in stock at
It looks like
Dreamy
blood.
Whites. It actually says it's a classic crimson. It actually says it in the description.
No, that looks like blood, Lucas. That looks like after you pull a hangnail and your finger starts bleeding.
Okay,
That's
if
what
that is
looks
what your blood looks like, I think you need to go to a doctor.
Incarnine.
Incarnadine.
I mean, it's just red. Let's set the tone. Let's put it 3, I guess.
Okay.
It's gonna go 3.
Next up for you, Zomp.
Zomp. Lucas, That is green.
No, it's Zomp.
No, that's not Zomp. That's green.
No, it's actually Zomp.
Lucas, we were just outside in the backyard for about an hour shooting a promo.
Mhm.
I was laying on the grass. That is what the color of the grass was.
Do you want to play this 21-second video explaining what color is Zomp?
No, let me see.
I can play it real quick.
I don't. They don't need to play it.
Are you sure?
No.
I feel like you really want me to press play.
Let me see Zomp again. I mean, it's a...
Look, right there, there's a 21-second video. What is Zomp?
Well, we're not going to bore the viewers with that.
Are you sure?
I actually don't mind that. We'll put Zomp at number 2.
Why do you get so annoyed if you actually like the color?
Huh?
Why do you get so annoyed if you actually
Because
like the color?
I shouldn't like something so stupid and repetitive like that, but you make me like it. So I guess I will give Zomp credit.
What about Celadon Green?
Lucas, that's just a lighter Zomp. That's just a lighter Zomp, my
So you like
friend.
Zomp? Oh, so green is Zomp now.
I guess it is. Yes, green is Zomp.
But Celadon Green.
Celadon green.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've ever seen anything with that shade of green
I
before.
feel like I actually have. It's like a grayish green.
A grayish green.
How else would you describe it? It's like
So then why
it,
they
it
call
has
it-
like a gray tint, but it's still like
So
green.
why don't they just call it grayish green?
Because that sounds boring. Celadon Green.
And what the hell is a Celadon?
Green.
And what the hell's a Zomp?
Green. Greenish blue, probably.
Green, is that just
That's gray.
No, 4. It's 4. That's what it is. It's 4, damn it. It's 4. Celadon green. Get out of here.
Gamboge.
Gamboge. Lucas, that just looks like mac and cheese from last time.
No, this is actually darker.
Is it? Gambage?
Does your mac and cheese look like that?
I would hope not.
Then why'd you say it looked like mac and cheese?
God, Gambage?
Gamboge, I think.
Gamboge.
There's no A, it's an O.
My God, it looks like you're pissed after you drank pop. Gamboge? Lucas, why do you have to show me these colors?
Impromptu this or that. Hay bale yellow or Gamboge yellow?
Okay, bell yellow. That's going 5. That looks nasty. If I saw that in a cup, I would not think it's apple juice. Gamboge. 5. I left my number 1 open. You better.
Number 1. It's a good color.
Is it?
Watch it.
Lucas, that's just Celadon green again.
No, it's not.
That's Celadon green.
This is a
again.
blue.
Oh my gosh.
That is. Dude, are you
Watch it.
colorblind?
I guess watch it is number 1.
Do you want to change your list around at all? Do you need me to go through any of the colors again?
No, I have them all.
So
So
the viewers really I wish I played that 21-second video about Zomp.
So I have Watch It number 1. I have Zomp number 2. Incarnine or whatever the hell you said at number 3. Celadon Green 4. And Gamboge at number 5. I guess I'll put Zomp number 1 because, I mean, it was alright, I guess. Celadon Green can be 2. Watch It can be 3. Incarnine can be 4. And Gamboge can stay down at number 5. So the new list is Zomp, Celadon Green, Watch It, Incarnine, Gamboge.
There's actually no audio to the video. It's very sad. I was going to play it anyways.
Okay.
Because I remembered it's my episode.
How they explain it then if there's...
They actually just break down like the color, what goes into it and stuff.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to watch, you can look it up after we're done with this.
Okay, thanks, Lucas. I will go and do my homework on Zomp later.
Good. I'm proud.
Just the next game show, please. This is why do you have to always bring colors into this?
Well, the next game show is actually our new game show.
Okay, does it involve colors?
It does not.
Okay, good.
What time are we at? I'm curious. I can't see it that far.
We're on 43 minutes.
Oh, wow, we're at 43 minutes. All right, this might take us to the end then. Who knows? You ready for our new game show?
I am.
Stat or crap?
Stat or crap?
Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna give you two statements. One of them's a stat, and one of them's complete crap.
I like that.
But your job is to figure out which one's real and which one's not.
I like that. I like that.
Technically, I could put a time limit on it. I didn't. I thought about it. I was
Wait,
like,
is it stat or crap or stat or cap? Which one?
Crap.
Is it? Okay.
I was actually gonna do cap, and I was like, we have cap.
What do we have capped?
What do we have cap in? We have cap in something, I think.
I don't know. But guys,
I forget. We have too many game shows, man.
stat or crap it is.
All right, so I'm gonna make two statements real quick. Don't talk during these. You just hear them both, and if you need to repeat either of them, I can. Justin Jefferson has had more receiving yards in his first 3 seasons than Randy Moss did. Amon-Ra St. Brown has more receiving touchdowns than Jamar Chase.
I know that Justin Jefferson did beat a record of Randy Moss. I'm not 100% sure if that was the one, though. So I don't recall there. I know Amon-Ra St. Brown has been doing a lot for the Lions too. He's a great player. But I'm going to go with the Jefferson one just for the simple fact that I do know for a fact there was a Randy Moss record that was broken, and I have a feeling it was something with receiving yards. Can you just repeat it one last time before I lock my answer?
Justin Jefferson has more receiving yards in his first 3 seasons in the NFL than Randy Moss did.
And what's the Amon-Ra?
Amon-Ra St. Brown has more receiving touchdowns than Jamar Chase.
I'm going to say Justin Jefferson, final answer.
Correct.
Yes! That's a stat, baby, not crap.
Now, we have an NBA one for you.
NBA, let's go. Love some basketball.
Forgive me, I don't know how to say the last name correctly. Luka Doncic is the youngest player in the NBA history with a 60-point triple-double. Jason Tatum has more career 50-point games than Steph Curry.
I think the Luka one is right, though, but I don't know. Tatum's young, though, too. Luka, final answer. Don't overthink it. Luka, final answer.
Correct.
Yes! Let's go! That's another stat.
All right, MLB for you.
All the sports. Let's do this.
Just the 4 main ones.
Okay.
Shohei Ohtani once had a game where he had a home run and struck out 10-plus batters. Ronald Acuna Jr., sorry if I said that name wrong, is the first player to have a 40 home run, 50 stolen base season. 40-50.
Well, Acuna would have did that with the Braves because that's where he plays. And Ohtani, I don't remember him ever doing that. He just joined the Dodgers. Did he really do that on the Angels? I'm going to go Acuna here. I think Acuna Jr. did do that. I just don't see Shohei Ohtani's 10 batters and a home run with the Angels. Unless he just did it with the Dodgers last year, but I believe that would have broke headlines. I could be wrong. I don't keep up with baseball as much as I do the other two, so I do apologize to the baseball fans out there. I'm going to go Acuna Jr. final answer.
That was crap.
That was crap. Oh!
Yeah, the Ohtani one's right.
Dang it. So it was Ohtani.
It was Ohtani. Ohtani, I don't know what team, I didn't go that far into it, but...
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And NHL to end it off.
NHL, here we go.
Quinn Hughes was the first defenseman to hit 80 assists in a single season. Connor Bedard had more goals in his first 40 NHL games than Sidney Crosby did.
Bedard. Wait. Repeat the first one.
Quinn Hughes was the first defenseman to hit 80 assists in a single season.
Second.
Connor Bedard had more goals in his first 40 NHL games than Sidney Crosby did.
I kind of believe it, but I kind of don't. And the reason why I believe it, it's not because I believe Bedard's better than Crosby. It's because Bedard doesn't have as many pieces around him as Crosby did. So a lot of players were taking up Crosby's goals when he first came into the league. So, is this Quinn or is it Bedard? Is it Quinn? Well, good thing I have a nickel right here. Sorry for all the noise. We're going to flip a coin. Heads is Heads is Quinn. Tails is going to be Bedard. Please be Bedard. It is Bedard. Connor Bedard. Final answer.
That is a stat.
That is a stat. Thank you, Thomas Jefferson. Never fails. Shout out to the nickel I have just sitting right here.
Why do you have a nickel just sitting right there?
I have a nickel and 2 dimes. No, I have 2 quarters. I got 2 quarters and a nickel just ran, and I voted sticker from the election last year. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Now I wanted to go to a topic that we brought up last time. WWE.
Yes, my cup of tea.
I want to go here for a second because I didn't even have this originally planned. That Braun Breaker spear that you sent me on Instagram, that spear was mental. He flipped destroyed the guy.
Carlito, not just a guy, that's Carlito.
I didn't remember the name. That was the most insane spear I've ever seen in my life, and I'm calling it right there.
Torpedo spear. Screw the torpedo bats in baseball. That was a torpedo spear from Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champion. He's going to be a main eventer. I don't care what anybody says. He's going to be a main eventer by next year at WrestleMania. He has to be. Has to be after that spear. Oh my goodness. Absolutely laid out Carlito. And guess what, Lucas? The stage is set now. Fatal 4-way Intercontinental title. We got Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio versus our boy Finn Balor. What you think?
I know I told you this on the phone. I think that if Finn Balor doesn't win, they're wasting it. They're wasting his career, is what I said, actually. My words.
I will say this. I wouldn't be mad if Dom got an upset win and then Balor wins next month. So Dom only has it for a month, but Balor holds on to it till SummerSlam, then drops it to Penta. I think that would be great.
I'd rather Balor just have it the whole time. Give him a long reign.
That's fair. Okay, I get it.
And I wouldn't mind him losing it to Penta. I was going to say I wouldn't mind him keeping it, but I don't know. I just want Finn to have it in general. once we get down to like SummerSlam, that's where we'll have to decide if he should still have it or not. Depends on how how he brings out his reign, I guess.
Mhm.
Considering that we've only seen him have one big reign, and then now he's just had the Intercontinental a couple times. And this is another smaller reign, but still, just seeing. I hope that this turns into a big push for him. I hope that they're giving him a title shot to be like, all right, you were kind of recharacterized. You got put in the group. You got tag teams. You got solo titles. Let's give you this solo title. How can you drag it on? Do you deserve the big shot?
For sure.
Because obviously, I wouldn't say obviously because WWE could go crazy, but we're pretty sure John Cena is at least going to win the title.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who's going to win it off of him, though. Could it be Balor?
I highly doubt so. I would say like a Randy Orton maybe, or Cody even winning it back again.
I want to give it back to
Maybe
Cody.
a Seth Rollins, a Roman Reigns, a CM Punk is a possibility. There's a lot of big names. I don't see Balor being in that world title picture. I would see a Damian Priest over Finn Balor beforehand. Or even a Drew McIntyre. That could actually... No, you don't like McIntyre?
Because I'm just trying to think, like, whoever he loses it to is the last time he's losing.
Well, then in that case, if it's going to be last time ever, it got to be Punk or Randy.
I should be Randy, probably.
I don't know. Punk and Cena, it's such a good feud.
They did, but then Punk also burned a lot of bridges at WWE and then came back, so...
But he's rekindled all those bridges.
But I feel like him and John and Randy have been there forever and have had legendary
Well, Lucas, I hate to break it to you. The WWE ain't the London Bridge. They built that bridge right back up again, and it's doing just fine. CM Punk is thriving in WWE.
They built it back up. They built it back up with about anybody.
Okay. What he did was he just burned AEW's bridge. That's what he did.
He burns bridges everywhere he leaves, pretty much.
In all fairness, the AEW one wasn't fully on him. That was more of Jungle Boy, but that's a different story.
Well, AEW is terribly run, so I don't really blame him for that one as much as I do for the WWE one was just him being crybaby.
Yeah.
End of the day right there. Didn't he go to like the MMA after that, actually?
Yeah, 0-6.
Yeah, didn't he last like 12 seconds in one of the matches? Yeah, it shows what the steroids can really do for you in WWE. Make you look big and strong until you have to actually go fight off the steroids.
Yep.
Same thing happened to Brock Lesnar. I told you...
Well, Lesnar was dominant, though, in both. You can't say... Like, Lesnar was UFC champion, though.
Well, Lesnar was crazy in WWE, went to UFC, was dominant, but then whenever he came back with a whole overall thing, I remember texting you, I was like, dude, he can't even pick anyone up.
That's fair. Well, that was not UFC, though. That was whenever he just left and took time off completely from both.
Not really.
That's when he went back to...
I didn't think he took that long of a break.
That's when he went back to his farm in Canada. And he was out in the woods hunting and stuff. That's all he was doing.
Should have stayed there. Would have been a better choice for him.
Yeah. So, I guess let's end this off. What's your opinions on Braun Breaker? Because I remember you had no clue who this guy was until like a year or two ago. And
he's easily one of my new favorite active wrestlers at the moment.
Give me your top three. Give me your top three actives right now.
Top three actives. I'm gonna do newer too because
do newer. That's
I don't want to because two of my slots will be taken up by John Cena and Randy Orton. I don't want to give that because that's like kind of obvious. I would think Gunther has to be number one. Braun Breaker probably two. But I'd say Penta number three. I like Penta. Penta's a cool guy.
I agree with your top two, but I gotta give number three to my boy Carmelo Hayes. I love Carmelo Hayes.
I like him, but I'm not as big a fan of him.
It's because they don't showcase him as much as they do the other ones.
Because I like you know me, I like luchadors.
That's fair.
I almost put Penta too, but I like.
You see Ray Fenix debut. Oh, you gotta watch Ray Fenix. He's better than Penta.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's the other luchador you're talking about, right? Is that the one that you said that
that's his brother.
That's the one you said you should team up with, right?
Well, yeah, they're brothers. So yeah, they're the Lucha Bros.
No, the new Lucha Bros.
Well, no, there's no other Lucha Bros.
Well, like Lucha Duo.
Yeah, they're gonna blow. They will blow the Lucha Dragons out of the water. Mark my words.
Lucha Dragons had the better entrance. I don't care what anyone says.
You never seen their all-out entrance.
Lucha. Sorry.
You never saw their all-out entrance with all the flames and the fire. I'm just saying. Ooh, it's badass.
Kane is a luchador.
Kane is a luchador. Okay, sure. At this point, we may as well make Matt Hardy a damn luchador.
I would say because all the fire.
Yeah, it's so funny.
What? The only character in WWE that's like known for fire is Kane.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Exactly. Now take back your statement and agree with me.
Okay, I take it back.
No, but I do like them, and I think it'd be cool to have them as tag team champions. Who's the current tag team champions?
On Raw or SmackDown?
Whichever they're on.
Raw is the War Raiders. They're in a feud with the New Day right now. And SmackDown, oh gosh, who is the SmackDown tag team champion? Is it DIY still? Oh my god, I actually don't. No, it's Street Profits. Street Profits.
Who's that made of again?
Huh?
Who's that made of?
Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins.
That's right.
Montez and Angelo.
I remember Montez.
They just won it back from DIY.
Hey, Mr. Angelo.
Hey, Angelo. Hey, Angelo. Come on the podcast and put Lucas through a table for me, please.
Oh.
For payback.
Angelo wouldn't put me through a table.
Yes, he would.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
He likes me more than he likes you.
That's not true. That is not true.
Who got the custom merch to come out?
Okay, I guess you got the custom.
Don't make that fist at me.
I'm sorry.
No, I got a couple this or that's for WWE to end it off here. No, I promised you I'd keep this as a shorter one since you cried about the last one. Even though I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeet. Team Yeet or Team No Yeet?
Yeet.
Oh, we're Yeeting.
I've always been on Yeet.
Well, you're not gonna be against the Yeet on WrestleMania. He's going up against Gunther.
Yeah, I hope Gunther wins.
I do gotta say one last thing about WWE before we go to this or that. Did you see the Charlotte Flair Tiffany Stratton promo where Tiffany said you're 0-3 with men, and then Charlotte was like, "Yeah, well, Kaiser's in my DMs, her boyfriend."
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, no one's in Charlotte Flair's DMs.
Especially over Tiffany.
Are you kidding me? Over Tiffany Stratton? Tiffy time?
I've seen a lot of people on Instagram saying that they hope that Tiffany beats Charlotte.
Well, here's the thing with this match. It's either going to be HBK versus Bret Hart all over again, or it's going to be the best match ever. There's no in between here.
I think a lot of people are saying that they like the build up, like Charlotte's going to win, but they think that she should lose to kind of put over Tiffany more, because like Charlotte's already.
She's the GOAT.
She's already proven that she's the best female wrestler that we've had.
Facts.
First ballot Hall of Famer and all that stuff. So, I mean, she doesn't need. This is what I've been saying the whole time. She doesn't need to win it. But the only thing I don't like about putting her over like that is you just wasted anyone else that actually deserves to win that title.
Not to mention Charlotte won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, like you just wasted their shot. So I understand what people are saying now, but I still don't like it anyways. I still wish she didn't win because you're either giving someone that doesn't need the title, or you're wasting a title match.
Facts. And the good thing is you're going to be coming on Inside the Ring with Austin Carnes to talk about all this right around WrestleMania special.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually going to be next week you're coming on. You're coming on the Wrestling Podcast next week to talk more WrestleMania, so perfect plug for that as well.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be getting some of those wrestling slap bracelets on me soon.
I know, hopefully so. They didn't have them at Walmart today when I went and got the chair. I was a little worried.
Really?
They had the box, but they didn't have the slap bracelets.
And we'll have to ask them if they have any in the back.
We will. We're also going
to we go there on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to LA Knight. He's going to lose to Jacob Fatu, though.
Probably.
For the U.S. title.
I wish he wouldn't, though.
So,
I love LA Knight as a champion, though.
I do, too.
He's a good champion. He's such like a douchey, like a good douchey character. Like,
that's why he's awesome. He's like Stone Cold. Stone Cold was a good douchey
Stone Cold and The Rock.
Yeah.
Like, he reminds me of those two, like, talking-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Especially The Rock, because The Rock is kind of a nice douchey guy.
Yeah.
Especially the, I don't know if you remember it. I think it was like the dwarf one. And our security was kicking him out, and he was like getting in their face, like scaring them and stuff, and calling them like the dwarves and stuff. And The Rock will leave when he wants to leave or something like that. But, anyways, this or that. Let's get this over with.
This or that, yes.
Undertaker streak or John Cena's 16 titles?
Oh, I'm gonna say the Undertaker streak. I believe out of every streak that we've ever had, whether it was Asuka's 600 win streak, Goldberg's 173, 174 streak that he had in WCW, or the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, no championship win could amount to it. And let's not forget that John Cena is not the only one that has 16 world titles. So does Ric Flair. So if we're going to say John Cena's 16 world titles is legendary, we also got to take Ric Flair into that consideration. The Undertaker streak not only was a winning streak, it was a WrestleMania winning streak. It was a streak on the grandest stage of them all. The only argument that I could ever make in Cena's defense would be that they ruined the streak by letting Lesnar snap it and then making it worse by giving Roman Reigns the win as well. If you were already going to have Roman win, why would Lesnar snap the streak to begin with? Just have Roman do it for the passing of the torch. In my opinion, he should have never lost any Mania matches. He had a proper closure against AJ Styles during COVID with the graveyard match. I was actually a big fan of that. I know a lot of people didn't, but for the times and circumstances, it was flawless. Same with the Firefly Funhouse match with Bray Wyatt, God rest his soul, and John Cena. I'm going to say the Undertaker streak here, though.
Yeah, I believe his streak is more legendary. I've always said it's like the most legendary running in WWE. I have pretty much the same complaints as you, though. Number one, the loss to Lesnar was a terrible loss. Lesnar didn't deserve it, in my opinion. I think Undertaker actually carried that match, in my opinion.
Not to mention, Taker was concussed most of it.
Taker was concussed most of it. And the match was underwhelming. It was, I mean, they were kind of in the zone where, like, every Mania, it was just push Brock as hard as we can. And I think that's kind of what got into Vince's head at the time, was just push him as hard as we can. Which also doesn't make sense because he showed up, like, twice a year.
Yeah.
So why are we giving him, like, all these, like, legendary things, title runs, breaking the streak, like, just didn't make sense to me. But then, yeah, it made even less sense once you were going to make him lose again. If you're going to make him drop the streak at all, make it a one-and-done deal. But, like, making him lose twice, it just puts salt in the wound, pretty much. And once again, it was kind of an underwhelming match that no one really wanted. I mean, people booed Roman winning. No one liked it. No one wanted to see the streak get worse. But, I mean, in WWE's defense, it wouldn't have made sense to have him continue the streak after the streak already lost. It was just bad planning in general.
Facts.
I think that they realized that they just kind of wanted to use Undertaker, but they were like, hey, we kind of screwed this up, and we need to push Roman right now. It was just dumb in general, but I agree with you. He should have just never lost in general. I think he should have gone however many in 0. Next up for you, we're actually gonna. I don't know if I've asked this before. I know I've asked about the people and teams in general. DX or NWO?
Oh, my heart. Oh. That's what you just did to me, Lucas. DX and NWO is so tough. That is so tough.
Because I know I've brought both teams up. I don't know if I've ever asked to put one over the other.
D-Generation X. The reason for that is because when the NWO came from WCW to WWE, they added unnecessary members and they pulled away necessary members. When we're talking the original NWO, I'm talking Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, again, God rest his soul, and Kevin Nash. That right there was the NWO. That was the clique. That was too sweet. D-Generation X, though. I mean, you talk about the badass Billy Gunn. You talk about the Road Dogg Jesse James. You talk about X-Pac, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H. Legendary moment after legendary moment. Comedic segment after comedic segment. Great match after great match. And most important, memorable moment after memorable moments. Both of these teams and both of these factions have been known for memorable moments. If you're a WWE guy, you're a DX fan. If you're a WCW guy, you're an NWO fan. And guess what? I'm NWO for life. I always put up the 2 sweet. Anytime you see a wrestling fan, you got to put up the 2 sweet or you're not a real wrestling fan. That right there is how you dignify whether or not you support the WWE or not. D-Generation X, though. I wasn't born in the 90s. I was born in the early 2000s, so I was one of the kids going, you can't see me, and yes, 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 growing up. But if you go back to my dad's generation, or even your parents' generation, they were doing suck it in high school the entire time. They were telling their teachers, suck it. And the teacher would be like, oh my God, where'd you learn such profanity from? It was from D-Generation X. It was from Triple H. It was from Shawn Michaels. Not to mention, all 5 of those guys, I would argue, had better careers than the careers of the NWO. I mean, no offense to Razor Ramon and Diesel or Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, obviously the same names, or Hulk Hogan or even X-Pac, because X-Pac was actually a part of both. Can't we say that Triple H and Shawn Michaels are much better than anybody from the NWO? We can even make a case that Road Dogg and Billy Gunn as a tag team when they were the New Age Outlaws was better than the NWO when they were a tag team.
You can make an argument that Triple H alone had a better career than all 5 because he took over the WWE.
That is correct. So
here's my one problem with Kevin Nash. He didn't know when to stop wrestling.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he
every time he came back, it got worse and worse.
Yeah, that feud with CM Punk in 2012 too was rough.
Yeah.
2011, sorry. That was rough. No, I agree with you, but DX, the combined championships, WrestleManias, single careers, and just moments, all divide everything that the NWO has ever done. So give me DX.
I'm going to choose DX, and I'm going to be completely honest why.
Why?
It's the only one I really remember out of these 2 groups.
Well, the NWO
the only one, like, watching. Like, the only one I really remember watching, the only one I remember moments for, is now whenever Shawn Michaels said, look, I just kicked Stan in the face. Was that so during that DX time?
Yeah. Well, that was more just when it was Triple H and Shawn, but yeah.
Yeah.
But no, he was like, see, I just kicked Stan.
Ran away and kicked another guy. And
then Stan became Ty Dillinger later on and became 10. You remember?
Papers got flown in the air.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Stan was a better seller than half the roster is.
Just lost the North American title.
No, but I just have one more with you before we close this out.
Yeah, move it.
Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman or Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman?
I love the wise man. I love the special counsel to the tribal chief. I believe when it's all said and done, we're going to say that Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns was better because the story is still being told. But as of right now, with the story still being open with Heyman and Roman, and with the story seemingly being closed with Heyman and Lesnar, I think it would be a shame of me to not say that when Paul Heyman would come out to the ring and go, the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Champion of the World, Brock Lesnar. If we don't say that guy right there, I'm sorry, we're not doing Brock Lesnar justice. I believe the pairing of those two was so unique, and making a guy in Lesnar who really wasn't good at cutting promos most of his career until the end of it, with a guy in Paul Heyman who cuts a better promo than anybody on the roster. I mean, seriously, what wrestler cuts a better promo than Paul Heyman? I'll tell you who. No one, because Paul Heyman is the GOAT of it. And if you try and say that someone on the roster is better, guess what? They probably learned from Paul Heyman. So Paul Heyman is the best promo cutter in WWE history, period, end of story, not debating it. But Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns is much more character-driven, if that makes sense. We see a different side of Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is simply just an advocate, simply just a manager. He's much more involved in the storylines with Roman Reigns than he ever was with Brock Lesnar. He was just kind of in his corner. That's why I'm going to say, when it's all said and done, Roman Reigns. As of right now, though, too many moments with Lesnar to pass it up. Give me Brock.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on Lesnar. I think it's just legendary. So many memorable moments with it. I agree with you. The one thing that is interesting about Heyman with Reigns is he is more involved. You see more of like a character side of it, like he's kind of gone until Reigns comes back and he's with Reigns, and see how he interacts with different members.
And he just turned on Reigns too.
He did just turn on Reigns.
He's probably, and a lot of people think he's going to go back with CM Punk, who is also legendary with. But I have a feeling that they're going to do a swerve. He's going to go to Seth Rollins, obviously. It makes the most sense.
That's what I thought after Seth got out of the car and laughed whenever Heyman was standing there.
I love Seth.
I was like, is he about to go to Seth?
Yes.
He probably is.
I can't wait for it too.
Whenever you're a good WWE, whenever you've been watching WWE as long as me and you can just kind of tell whenever they're planning something.
And I'm so excited for it. I can't wait to see it.
But the thing is, they're kind of leaving it open right now. Like, they can, like, if they decide last second that Seth isn't the way they want to go, they can just easily turn to Punk.
Or back to Roman.
Yeah, like, they are doing really good.
And if they really want to screw us over, he can just walk out on all three of them. Or if they really want to even screw us, here comes Lesnar.
Or if they really want to screw us, Paul Heyman just becomes a single wrestler.
Paul Heyman?
Paul Heyman versus
put him in a singlet.
Michael Cole.
Oh, good lord.
Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler. Pat McAfee.
Oh my god, Pat McAfee would kick his ass.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, but once it's said and done, I could see him being a better with Reigns. It's gonna be hard for me to change. As much as I hate Lesnar, I love Heyman with Lesnar. It's gonna be hard to take my vote away, but there's a good possibility it does change. It's cool to see what they're doing with him right now. But yeah, I think, like you said, you can't change it until we see how this all turns out with Reigns.
Absolutely, and I will tell you this too. The thing is with Paul Heyman, he makes the story so much more believable with the expressions. Like, he can just cry right on the spot.
Yeah.
How many people can do that?
I wish I could do that.
That's so cool. Like, he can just, like, literally, he can sell a story. He's emotionally driven with it.
I can make you cry.
And he's always, you did earlier when you put me through the damn boxes. But no, Paul Heyman, I mean, whether it's with the Usos or Solo, like, even when he was with that new bloodline, this is how dedicated Paul Heyman is. When Paul was with the new bloodline, when Roman was taking time off after he lost the title to Cody, Paul Heyman literally grew his beard out and didn't, like, dye his hair or anything. So he was growing gray. It looked like he was aging for the storyline just because he didn't take care of himself for a month.
Didn't he get put through a table?
He did.
Yeah.
And then he aged badly. And then he went back to normal because he went back to Roman.
Yeah.
That's how dedicated he was.
That's
Didn't shave for a month, didn't take care of it. Like,
we're never going to get another a promo cutter like Paul Heyman.
No.
I hate to say that his time will be coming.
I mean, we could get a certain Jagoff cutting promos.
Lucas Khuns cutting promos for WWE would be crazy.
I said a Jagoff, not a jackass. That was a good one? Yes, I got a dab up on that one. Let's go. I was thinking you were going to come over here and punch me and put me through this table. No! I broke Lucas on Lucas Carries. I feel accomplished. Let's go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for today's episode of Lucas Carries.
Thanks for throwing the pen.
How did I throw the pen at you? We haven't made that joke in like a long time, actually.
Yeah, because you haven't thrown a pen at me in a long time. That's why.
I mean, I never even used the throw penny. I just said I was going
Yes, you
to throw
did.
a penny.
Don't start with that BS.
I threw a penny like 4 times out of the...
What, 4?
Out of like the... How many times did we say I was going to? 200?
Big scary.
200?
200.
Something like that.
Can I actually, before you do your little monologue, I know you're closing off. This is breaking news, and it's unfortunate news. I really hate to report this here on 2 Jags.
It's about the Penguins.
No. It's about some scheduling with future episodes. So I recently promoted that this week we were going to have a special guest on. I do hate to apologize. There was more scheduling conflicts within our schedule. So we will not be having the special guest we were supposed to have this Sunday. But never fear, Mr. Jack Dean is here. We have another special coming out on Sunday. I'm not going to spoil it. We'll save it for then. But we do have a guest joining us on Sunday. Interviews are going to be pushed back another week. We have so many guests coming up. We might do 3 weeks in a row of interviews just because of it. Again, I do apologize doing this 2 weeks in a row. We're a little more prepared this week since Lucas is a little bit better now, and I'm also here mentally.
Yeah,
so.
I got taken down.
Yeah, ear infection got you good. And my dad was also all over the place too.
It was like ear infection plus like, not like a cold, but like cold symptoms type thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you heard me on the phone Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Oh.
No, you sounded awful.
Yesterday wasn't bad. Tuesday wasn't bad. So.
But I will say I'm glad to have you back on, Lucas, and I do apologize to everyone out there. Interview will be coming out very soon. Let's just hope that's 2 weeks in a row of scheduling conflicts, but that's gonna happen. But we have a backup plan. So
hey, no hate to who we were supposed to have on, but it wasn't our fault for once.
Yeah, for once
it wasn't our schedule.
Neither one of them was. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I do my outro now, or do you have anything else to say?
No, that was it. I apologize for cutting it off. I had to say it. I did promote it, so I was like, oh.
I'll give you a break. I know your brain's a little bit
I know my
messed up still from getting put to the table.
Yeah, it's like mashed potatoes right now.
But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us back here on Lucas Carries. If you like this one as much as you like the first one, let us know. Hoping to bring it back pretty soon. Don't worry, this isn't going anywhere unless you guys tell me to screw off and go be a Jagoff somewhere else. But I think everyone likes this management style every once in a while. It's definitely better than some other management. But anyways.
Oh, shut up over there. Just wrap it up already.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
Peace.